The West has lost hope for a better tomorrow. Left-wing government leaders in European countries have been losing electoral legitimacy for several weeks. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resigned yesterday after 9 years in power. 2 days earlier, on Saturday, January 4th, Austrian Chancellor Karl Nehammer lost power. On December 4th, Michel Barnier said goodbye to his post as Prime Minister of France. On November 6th, when the US election results were announced, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz led to the breakup of the government coalition and new early elections. One reason is the uncontrolled influx of migrants. Few of them want to work. Instead, they demand the observance of Sharia law in the countries of Western Europe. And Europe is not just suffering economically, but has also lost its former feeling of low crime ambient security. On November 6th, after Donald Trump's electoral victory, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz announced the dissolution of his government and new snap elections. This was due to an even more important question, namely, whether and how we will invest in our country, strong and determined, or small-minded and depressed. Our security depends on this question. On December 4th, French Prime Minister Michel Barnier resigned after only 3 months in office. On January 4th, Austrian Chancellor Karl Nehammer lost his position, and yesterday, Justin Trudeau announced his resignation.
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister.
Their governance has been very poor overall, even before Trump won the election. This left-wing system required applying what amounted to sanctions on Poland's nationalist government to cobble together a majority for their left-liberal coalition in the Polish parliament to gain control of the Polish government. This shows that they simply do not have a solid electoral base. It's not like Trump is making his own right-wing international organizations to overthrow governments. Voters in the United States have enthusiastically embraced Donald Trump's core message, which was politically incorrect until quite recently: to use their own energy sources, local production, support for parents, a ban on men and women's sports, and, above all, a strong military. On top of this, sustainable trade to stop the West losing markets to ruthless competition from communist China.
To, w jaki sposób odchodzi ten liberalizm wraz z prezydentem Joe Bidenem, to też jest...
The way this left-wing international order is going away, it's quite pathetic and not very inspiring for those who would portray themselves as defenders of the left-liberal international order, such as Emmanuel Macron or, until recently, Justin Trudeau. These so-called experts' credibility is in the gutter after multiple major failures, in cases like the Great Recession of 2008, or the numerous migrant crises all over Europe, or the pandemic, or even Joe Biden's legacy in failing to provide basic security for his citizens, as well as the war in Ukraine.
Zapewnianie podstawowego bezpieczeństwa I wojna na Ukrainie.
The trend is clear. In Canada, the Conservatives are soaring. In Germany, the number one party in the polls is the CDU, but the second is the AfD. Opinion polls today are merciless for the left across Western countries. People have lost all faith in the political establishment. The question is whether the coming change in politics will fulfill the hopes of the anguished Europeans.